You are next.
Bolo Yeung is a Chinese actor, bodybuilder, director, and producer. The audience often remembers the good guys, but Bolo managed to win the love of fans by playing mostly bad guys. Bolo Yeung, where is the Chinese Hercules now? Yang Si, better known as Bolo Yeung, was born on July 3, 1946, in the Chinese city of Guangzhou, into a family of a local entrepreneur and housewife. At the age of 4, the boy became interested in Kung Fu, and at the age of 10, he began to study martial arts with local masters. He also attended acrobatics training and became interested in weightlifting. He successfully combined martial arts with power loads, which allowed him to become the Chinese champion in powerlifting. Contrary to popular belief, Bolo wasn't a Shotokan karate champion and never practiced this kind of martial arts. In the mid-60s, the young man fled from communist China to Hong Kong. More precisely, he swam there. It was one of the few escape routes with the least likelihood of meeting the border patrol. In Hong Kong, Yang Si became a coach and opened his own bodybuilding school. Soon he came to the attention of an agent of the largest Hong Kong film company, Shaw Brothers Studio, who invited him to star in a movie. In 1970, the 23-year-old athlete made his motion picture debut in The Wandering Swordsman, in a supporting role, and won the Mr. Hong Kong title in the bodybuilding tournament, which he continued to confirm for 9 consecutive years. After playing brutal villains in 14 more films, including the action movie 5 Fingers of Death, the aspiring actor decided to leave the studio. The turning point in Yang Si's career was meeting Bruce Lee. At the time, Bruce was filming the movie Path of the Dragon, which was sponsored by Winston Cigarette Company. In cinemas, before the screening, it was planned to launch a short masterclass from Bruce Lee and a cigarette advertisement in which Yang Si was invited to star. A friendship struck up between them, and in 1973, Bruce invited his friend to play a bodyguard of his main on-screen opponent in the movie Enter the Dragon. It was in this film that Yang Si played a character named Bolo, which he later chose for his stage name. In this movie, Bolo Yeung didn't fight Bruce Lee. He promised to put up a fight in the next film, which was to be Game of Death, but Bruce Lee died 6 days before the premiere of Enter the Dragon. The release of the action movie Chinese Hercules followed.
Well, in that case, what do we do with them? We kill them. And dump them.
Even though Bolo didn't play the main role in it, the nickname Chinese Hercules got firmly entrenched for him, like another nickname, the Beast from the East. Working with the legendary Bruce Lee made it easier for Bolo to get roles in movies, but his friend's death had closed his way to American cinema for many years. Left unsupported, he continued to play villains in local action films such as the 1974 The Young Dragons and the 2 parts of Bruce and Shaolin Kung Fu. We know nothing about the actor's wife, but their eldest son David was born on July 3, 1974, and he followed in his father's footsteps. From childhood, he practiced martial arts, and at the age of 14, together with Bolo, he appeared on the stage of a bodybuilding tournament for the first time. In addition, he starred in several films and is now engaged in coaching. Later, the couple had a daughter called Deborah, who was practicing bodybuilding under guidance of the older brother, and the younger son Danny, who also linked his life with sports and practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In 1978, Bruce Lee's picture Game of Death was completed with the use of stunt doubles and was released in cinemas. Bolo Yeung also appeared in it. The actor also tried his hand at directing. In 1979, the comedy thriller Bolo and the film Wendo were released. Among the actor's subsequent works are the action movie The Ninja Strikes Back, the horror movie The Boxer's Omen, the action comedies Millionaire's Express, Lucky Stars Go Places, Where's Officer Tuba, and My Lucky Stars. In 1986, Bolo worked with Bruce Lee's son Brandon on the set of Legacy of Rage.
I've been fighting in the streets for 10 years. No one's ever laid a hand on me.
He not only played the main character's antagonist, but also prepared Brandon for fights. Yeung would book the gym for 9 a.m., but Lee only would show up at noon. Lee was reluctant to exercise. He only did it because the producers asked him to. While acting in movies, Bolo Yeung repeatedly became the champion of Southeast Asia in Kempo from the late 70s to the late 80s. Even in the 90s, he still successfully participated in competitions. Bolo Yeung became world famous by the action movie Bloodsport, released in 1988, in which he played the main villain named Chang Li.
Very good. But break, not hit back.
On the set, he met the actor Jean-Claude Van Damme, who had always been a fan of Bolo. Although critics gave the film negative reviews, the audience received it well, and the career of the 42-year-old actor got a second wind. Bloodsport gave the actor access to the roles of the main negative characters in action films Blood Fight, Breathing Fire, Tiger Claws, Fearless Tiger, and Ironheart. In 1991, Van Damme invited Yeung to play his rival in the film Double Impact, offering a fee of $25,000.
Where are the twins?
Fuck you.
Stop! They've gone. They've left the island.
She lies.
20 years later, Jean-Claude's son surprised his father by inviting Bolo to dinner, and they gladly revisited the times when they worked on the set together 15 hours a day. Bolo constantly mentions in interviews that the role of a villain entrenched in him doesn't embarrass him. Nevertheless, there are several roles of good guys in the actor's filmography. In 1993, he played in the fantastic action movie TC-2000, and also appeared as Master Shingo in the films Shoot Fighter, Fight to the Death, released in 1993, and Shoot Fighter 2, 1996.
You want to press charges, we'll meet you in court. Now, get out.
Relax.
Also in 1996, Yeung starred in another action movie, Tiger Claws 2, after which he had a career break. In 2006, Yahoo conducted a survey asking users who is the best actor in kung fu films, and Bolo took second place right after Bruce Lee. In 2007, he was invited to star in The Ultimate Fighter, co-produced by the United States and Kazakhstan. Due to legal issues, the film never made it to the cinemas. It was limited to screenings at several festivals until it went online more than 4 years later. In 2008, Bolo officially announced that he was leaving his work in the cinema, but after that, he nevertheless starred in 2 more films made in Kazakhstan. In 2011, Bolo Yeung came to Russia at the invitation of a fitness club. He had visited Moscow earlier in the 90s and announced work on a joint picture, but the project was never implemented. Bolo also appeared in an episode of the documentary project Jean-Claude Van Damme Behind Closed Doors. It is worth noting that Yeung has also appeared in several documentaries about Bruce Lee. In 2016, the actor played a cameo role in Diamond Cartel and appeared in the action-adventure movie The Whole World at Our Feet a year earlier. Bolo is currently the chairman of the Hong Kong Gym Business Association and the team manager of the Tapai International Bodybuilder Squad. He also conducts master classes, celebrity stakeouts, and autograph sessions. He begins every morning with a 2-hour workout, doesn't smoke or drink alcohol. The fortune of 74-year-old Bolo Yeung is estimated at $1.5 million and mainly accounts for real estate. Since 2018, the actor has been living in Monterey Park, California, in a 2-story house with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. On the ground floor, there is a dining room with an elegant chandelier and a large open kitchen with a dining area leading to a living room with a fireplace. There are 3 more bedrooms on the 2nd floor, and there is a seating area in the backyard with a gazebo and a fountain. The garage has space for 4 cars, but only one of Bolo's cars is known to the public. It's the $49,000 Audi A3 convertible. Amiable in common life, Bolo Yeung always knew how to bring the feeling of a real threat on the other side of the screen. He tried to make people see martial arts as something more than just a circus, and once said that a real professional should make one move which will be watched breathlessly. What is your favorite movie with Bolo Yeung? Arnold Schwarzenegger. How Terminator lives and how he spends his millions. Arnold Aloysius Schwarzenegger was born on July 30th, 1947, in the community of Thal, Austria, into a Catholic family of Gustav and Aurelia. It is known that in 1938, His father joined the Nazi army of Germany, which Arnold would be very ashamed of in the future. Although his father didn't have any proven war crimes, during the Second World War, Gustav participated in the siege of Leningrad, where he was seriously wounded. Arnold's parents got married in 1945. At that time, Gustav was 38 years old, and Aurelia was 23 years old. For the girl, this marriage was her second. Her first husband died in the war. In 1946, Gustav and Aurelia had their first child, Meinhard, and a year later, Arnold, who became an outcast in the family, all because Gustav suspected his wife of infidelity and believed that Arnold was not his biological son. Schwarzenegger's childhood cannot be called happy because his duties included getting up at 6 in the morning and doing all the hard work before school. For any mistake, his father, who worked as the local chief of police, severely punished him and even gave him the nickname Cinderella. In addition, the family lived very poorly, but this only motivated Arnold to become successful in the future. Gustav was an athlete and demanded the same from his sons, so Arnold played soccer from a young age and a little later started weightlifting. When the boy turned 14, he went with a friend to Vienna to watch the World Weightlifting Championships. Arnold was among the spectators watching Soviet weightlifter Yuri Vlasov win the world title, becoming the first person to lift 445 pounds over his head. Schwarzenegger was so impressed by what he saw that he decided that day he would devote his life to bodybuilding. Since then, Arnold began to train daily, and on weekends, when the gym was closed, he would break in through the window and work out even harder. His parents were concerned with their son's new hobby. His mother, seeing posters of half-naked muscular men in his room, even suspected Arnold of being gay, and his father was dissatisfied with the nationality of his main idol, Vlasov, and demanded to find a German or Austrian icon. At 17, Arnold participated in his first bodybuilding competition in Graz, where he took second place. At 18, he was drafted into the army for a year. It was impossible to call Schwarzenegger a good soldier. During his service, he managed to drown a tank in a river, destroy a hangar, and even go AWOL just to participate in the Mr. Europe contest. Because of this violation, he was sent to the guardhouse, but after learning that he took first place in that competition, the officers released him and even gave him a 2-day vacation. After his service ended in 1966, Schwarzenegger went to Munich, where he got a job at a fitness club. It is worth noting that back then, Arnold severed ties with his father and brother, who had humiliated him, and in the future, he didn't even attend their funerals. In Munich, the young man didn't have enough money at first, and he had to sleep on the floor in the gym. In addition, matters would get worse because of constant fines for street fights, which he initiated almost every day. In the same year, Arnold went to London for the Mr. Universe contest, where he unexpectedly took second place. The following year, he managed to win the long-awaited title at 20, becoming the youngest winner in the entire history of the competition. At the same time, Schwarzenegger participated in international powerlifting tournaments, where he repeatedly became a champion. The young man always wanted to live in the USA, and in 1968, he realized his dream by moving to California, where he continued his training. At first, Schwarzenegger stayed in the country illegally, and he was able to obtain citizenship only in 1983. In addition, the young man spoke English rather poorly, but it didn't prevent him from reaching for success. Back then, Schwarzenegger already earned his first million a few years before the start of his acting career. Arriving in California, he opened a bricklaying business with a friend. Because of the earthquake in San Fernando, the demand for building materials increased, and with it, the company's profit. The guys invested the money they earned in a new business, mailing out equipment and VHS tapes with instructions for bodybuilding and fitness. In 1969, Arnold met a teacher, Barbara Baker, who became his first love. The young man, of course, was infamous for numerous affairs, but before meeting Barbara, he didn't really love anyone. In the same year, Schwarzenegger participated for the first time in the Mr. Olympia contest, where he took second place. In the next year, he managed to win the competition and at 23, became the youngest champion in the entire history of the competition. This record hasn't been broken so far. At the same time, his acting career began. Arnold's film debut was the lead role in Hercules in New York in 1970. But in the credits, he appeared under the last name Strong, since his real one seemed too difficult.
What's your second name? Hercules what?
As I've told you, I'm Hercules, the son of Zeus.
I don't think it needs any disrespect, Captain. It's probably loose in the translation.
All right. Sign him on as Hercules Zeus since he says that's his father's name, and give him an OS rating, bosun.
Aye, aye, sir.
His character's lines were also dubbed over because of his strong Austrian accent. A joke started circulating in Hollywood that only Schwarzenegger's accent is thicker than his muscles. Arnold considers his debut role the most unsuccessful. At the same time, it brought him $12,000. Then there were the roles in the films Happy Anniversary and Goodbye, The Streets of San Francisco, The San Pedro Beach Bums, and Stay Hungry. For the latter, Schwarzenegger was awarded the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. Meanwhile, Arnold had no equal in bodybuilding. For 6 years, he was the permanent holder of the title Mr. Olympia and rightfully became a bodybuilding legend. Having reached all possible heights, Schwarzenegger announced his retirement from sports in 1975. A year before this event, he broke up with his beloved. The reason was Arnold's unwillingness to marry and have children, which the girl wanted so much. After parting with Barbara, he met hairdresser Sue Murray, who shared his views on an open relationship. In 1977, Schwarzenegger, while in a relationship, started dating the journalist Maria Shriver, the niece of the 35th U.S. President John F. Kennedy. This went on for a year, after which Sue insisted that Arnold decide between the girls. He chose Maria, whose relatives, by the way, were not happy about the potential son-in-law. During that period, Schwarzenegger starred in several films: The Villain, Scavenger Hunt, The Jane Mansfield Story, and Conan the Barbarian. The latter can be considered his first successful in his career.
Priest's robe?
Yes, it's all I have.
Good. That's all you'll ever need.
Even though he was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award for the worst male role, the actor's payout then amounted to $250,000. Arnold performed all the stunts himself, so he returned to strength training. Having got in good shape, he decided to participate in the Mr. Olympia contest again, which he won. In 1984, the actor appeared in the sequel, Conan the Destroyer, which brought him $1 million. Later, the film Conan the Conqueror was supposed to come out, but Arnold was busy with another project, so the trilogy remained unfinished. In the same year, the action movie The Terminator was released, which became the most recognizable film with Schwarzenegger. His character's phrase, "I'll be back," became the hallmark of the actor.
I'll be back.
And also appeared in 37th place in the list of the 100 best quotes from films. Interestingly, the scene with this phrase took 9 takes to film. For The Terminator, Arnold earned $750,000 and was also nominated for the Saturn Award for Best Actor.
I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
You're close. Give them to me, now.
Fuck you, asshole!
In 1985, the rising star was invited to star in the action movie Commando, which was well received by the public and brought Schwarzenegger $1.5 million.
You scared, motherfucker? Well, you should be, because this Green Beret's gonna kick your big ass.
I eat green berets for breakfast.
And right now, I'm very hungry.
I can't believe this macho bullshit.
The actor performed all the stunts himself, simply because it was hard to find a stuntman with the same physique. Although the lovemaking scene he did was so unconvincing that they had to cut it. In the same year, the film Red Sonja was released, in which Danish actress Brigitte Nielsen became Arnold's partner on the set. A stormy relationship flared between them, although at that time, Arnold was already engaged to Maria. After the filming was completed, the actor broke up with Nielsen, who didn't want to stay a mistress and threatened to tell his fiancée everything. Then Schwarzenegger introduced Brigitte to his friend Sylvester Stallone, whom she soon married. In 1986, Arnold got married too, with Maria Shriver. He had 4 children: Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher. A few months after the wedding, the film Raw Deal was released, in which he got the lead role. Schwarzenegger's acting career was gaining momentum, and with it, the payouts were growing. In 1987, he starred in 2 films, Predator and The Running Man, for which he earned $3 million and $5 million respectively. Both films were well received by the public, and for Predator, Arnold was even nominated for Best Actor at the Saturn Film Award. At the same time, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 1988, Schwarzenegger appeared in the film Red Heat. His payout was $8 million. In the same year, with his appearance in the movie Twins with Danny DeVito, the actor proved that he can play comedy roles perfectly.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Oh, obviously. The moment I sat down, I thought I was looking into a mirror.
The movie creator couldn't afford to pay the 2 actors, so they agreed to a percentage of sales, and it was worth it. The comedy had such a resounding success at the box office that Arnold received his biggest income of $35 million. The actor has repeatedly stated that he considers this film the best in his career. In the early 1990s, Schwarzenegger starred in the films Kindergarten Cop, for which he received $12 million, Total Recall for $10 million, and Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, or later, dickwad. And if someone gets upset, you say, chill out. Or you could do combinations.
Chill out, dickwad.
That's great.
For the last 2 films, Arnold was nominated for the Best Actor category at the Saturn Film Awards. By the way, the actor preferred to receive the $15 million for the second part of the Terminator in kind, and asked for a Gulfstream III plane. Then, Schwarzenegger added the following films to his filmography: Dave, Beretta's Island, Last Action Hero, Junior, and True Lies. For the latter 3, Arnold received payouts for $15 million each. Those works were awarded various nominations, and most of them Arnold received for the action movie True Lies in the categories Best Actor, Best Kiss, and Best Dance Sequence.
Do you still love your husband?
Yes, I love him. I've always loved him.
In 1996, Arnold appeared in the comedy Jingle All the Way and in the action movie Eraser, where his partner on set was Vanessa Williams, with whom, according to rumors, he had a fleeting affair. For each of the films, the actor earned $20 million. In the next few years, Schwarzenegger starred in the films Batman and Robin, End of Days, and The Sixth Day. Even though the actor earned $72 million in total for these films, his acting was heavily criticized, and for each of these roles, he was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award as the worst actor. In the early 2000s, Arnold appeared in the films Collateral Damage, for which he earned $25 million, and Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, for a payout of about $30 million.
EX is designed to terminate other cybernetic organisms.
So, she's an anti-Terminator. Terminator? You've got to be shitting me.
No, I am not shitting you.
After the release of the long-awaited sequel, Schwarzenegger announced his retirement from the film industry and the beginning of his political career. Despite the skepticism, in 2003, he was elected the 38th governor of California with 1.3 million votes. Even though Arnold's wife is a representative of the Democratic Kennedy clan, Schwarzenegger himself is a dedicated Republican. Arnold's political activity caused a contradictory reaction from the public, and the powerful opposition seriously lowered his rating. But in 2006, Schwarzenegger was re-elected for a second term, during which he stood out for his policy of reducing costs, refusing the governor's salary, but all the efforts to save money by laying off civil servants and raising taxes ended with mass protests by trade unions. As a result, the state led by Arnold suffered more than the others from the consequences of the global crisis. During this period, Arnold did not have time to act in movies. In 2004, the pre-film film Around the World in 80 Days was released, for the role in which he was nominated for another Golden Raspberry. By the way, In 2005, Arnold still received a special anti-award, becoming the worst Razzie loser of the first 25 years. Schwarzenegger stepped away from political affairs only for The Expendables in 2010, where he played a cameo role. Even in the fourth part of The Terminator, they had to use a digital image of the actor. In 2011, Arnold's second and last term as governor came to an end, so he returned to the cinema. According to some reports, during his political career, the actor missed the opportunity to earn $200 million in the film industry. Changes have also occurred in his personal life. After 25 years of marriage, Arnold announced that he and his wife were divorcing. Maria loved her husband very much and turned a blind eye to numerous infidelities, but she couldn't forgive one of them. The reason was their governess Mildred, whose son Joseph was surprisingly similar to Schwarzenegger. When Maria figured out that Joseph was Arnold's son, the marriage ended. In 2012, the actor appeared in The Expendables 2, for which he earned $10 million, even though all his scenes were shot in just 5 days.
I need a weapon, something big. Yours!
Whoa, 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 whoa. My big weapon's hanging right where it is.
Come on, Caesar, you gotta back up.
If I don't get this back, your ass is terminated. In your dreams.
In his spare time, Arnold gives motivational lectures around the world. He has written many books on bodybuilding, and in 2012, his autobiography, Total Recall, came out. The following year, Arnold starred in the films The Last Stand with a payout of $5 million and Escape Plan. Then he added several others to his filmography, like Sabotage, Maggie, 2.5 Men, and The Expendables 3. And for the latter, he received another nomination for Golden Raspberry. In 2015, the film Terminator Genesis was released.
Won't be needing any clothes. I've been waiting for you.
It was decided not to hide Arnold Schwarzenegger's age with CGI. Instead, the writers decided to explain that the living tissue that covers the Terminator can age, and the robot's hair can turn gray. During the same period, it became known about Arnold's affair with physiotherapist Heather Milligan, who is 27 years younger than him. In 2017, Arnold appeared in the films Kill Gunther and Aftermath, which turned out to be commercially unsuccessful. In 2019, he starred in the films Terminator, Dark Fate, and V2, Journey to China, for which he again received a nomination for Golden Raspberry.
Go back and exercise, gentlemen. Affect your bodies. Remember, a healthy body houses a healthy mind. Mens sana in corpore sano. Exercise!
Even though Schwarzenegger's acting is constantly being criticized, offers from directors continue to come, and soon, we will see new films with Iron Arnold. In 2021, Schwarzenegger's divorce process, which lasted 10 years, was completed. It took that long because the spouses hadn't signed a prenup at the time, so they had to share their jointly acquired property, and there was a lot of it. Today, Arnold's fortune is estimated at $450 million, which he earned through films, lectures, and advertising contracts. Arnold appeared in advertisements for a Japanese energy drink, BMW iX electric car, World of Tanks, and mobile strike games, Bud Light beer, and others. Schwarzenegger invested money in securities of large companies, including Coca-Cola, Starbucks, and Google. Most of all, the actor liked to invest money in real estate. Nowadays, the value of Arnold's commercial real estate alone exceeds $100 million. But still, the center of his financial empire is the company Oak Productions, through which he receives payouts from film studios and percentages from comic and video game sales. At one time, the Schwarzeneggers owned a restaurant in Santa Monica, but in 1998, the establishment was sold. Also, together with LeBron James, Arnold founded a dietary supplement production company. Before the divorce, the couple lived in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles, where their children grew up. The mansion has an area of about 11,000 square feet, It includes 9 bedrooms, several living rooms, a spacious kitchen, and a dining room. There is also a garden, a patio, a swimming pool with a unique geometric shape, and a tennis court. In 2013, this family nest was sold for $13 million. Now the Hollywood star lives in a 1-story house with a large plot of land on the outskirts of Los Angeles with his favorite pets: Husky Dutch, Yorkshire Terrier Cherry, Donkey Lulu, and Pony Whiskey. Arnold owns a huge collection of cars, which includes Dodge Challenger SRT8, Excalibur Series 3 Phaeton, Hummer H1, Dodge M37, exclusive Jeep Grand Wagoneer Governator, Porsche 911, Mercedes SLS, Gallon-Wagon Chrysler with an electric motor, Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse, a Mercedes model specially created for Iron Arnold, and even a real M47 tank, the model he drove in the army. The actor bought it from the Austrian government for $1.4 million. The celebrity spends a significant part of his income on charity. Back in 1995, Schwarzenegger founded an organization that provides an opportunity for children from low-income families to get an education. The foundation also helps fight against HIV, AIDS, and other diseases. For example, in 2020, Arnold allocated $1 million to support medical workers, and in 2021, spent $250,000 to build 25 houses for veterans. In addition, he collaborated with the organization Veloce, which is engaged in the popularization of electric vehicles. Now Iron Arnold is rightfully considered a fan's favorite. A monument was erected in his honor. A programming language and even a Costa Rican ground beetle were named after him. And the Guinness Book of Records called him the most perfectly developed man in the history of the world. Do you like Arnold Schwarzenegger? If you like the video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything interesting.